Canada Revenue Agency uncovers $1.3 billion in unpaid real estate taxes in British Columbia alone. That's a headline of Vancouver Sun article that I found fascinating and very interesting, with a lot of useful information, especially for those of us who are interested in real estate, who own a home, or who are planning to buy a home. Canada's federal budget in 2019 included $50 million for CRA task force over 5 years to investigate real estate fraud. This year, actually, they have renewed this budget, but now it's higher. It's $73 million because clearly this program has been successful. And over the last 5 years, this task force has uncovered a lot of unpaid real estate taxes. $1.4 billion in Ontario and $1.3 billion in BC. But what's crazy is that Ontario has 4 or 5 times the amount of population that BC has, which means that BC has had way more real estate fraud uncovered than Ontario. And according to this article, the CRA task force really did focus on the 2 provinces, Ontario and BC, because these are the provinces with the most expensive real estate and the highest number of real estate transactions. What I found interesting is that non-compliance with taxes was wildly different between BC and Ontario. In Ontario, the vast majority of unpaid taxes were GST and HST on the new homes, as well as homeowners and developers claiming rebates when they don't qualify for rebates. In BC, however, the situation is very different. Like, for instance, one of the most common non-compliances with the tax code was the situation where an expensive home was acquired without a clear proof of Canadian income. In fact, the top 5% of most expensive real estate in Greater Vancouver has a median price of about $3.7 million. However, on average, the owners of these homes have only paid $15,800 in taxes for the year, which is incredibly low. How are they able to afford these super expensive homes if they're not making even $100,000 a year? The other non-compliance with the CRA code was not reporting the profits from flipping a home quickly as a taxable income. Another common non-compliance that CRA found was failing to report capital gains tax or claiming primary residence for a property that isn't actually your primary residence. Because, as I'm sure you already know, in BC, if the property is not your primary residence, when you sell that property, you do have to pay capital gains tax. However, if the property is your primary residence, when you sell the property, even if you make some money afterwards, majority of the time, you don't have to pay the capital gains. But of course, that doesn't apply to all the cases. Talk to your accountant, talk to your lawyer to figure out whether you do or don't have to pay this capital gains tax. The other couple of non-compliances were unreported income outside of Canada and non-compliance by realtors and developers. The first one is very clear. Somebody's making money outside of Canada, not reporting that on their Canadian income tax. The other one, the non-compliance by realtors and developers, is a little unclear. It's probably helping people to evade taxes or maybe not reporting things properly. This article wasn't too clear about this, but essentially these sort of 5 strategies were the most common ones used by people to avoid paying taxes. As someone who works and lives in BC and pays taxes in BC, I'm glad that a task force like this exists. I'm glad that they're sort of investigating and getting to the bottom of all of this, because it's unfair for some people to get away and not pay taxes and for others to pay their fair share. I think everyone has to pay their fair share as determined by a tax code. Love it or hate it, tax code exists and it should apply to everyone equally. I think as the work of this task force continues, we're going to see more and more stories like this come to light and probably more schemes being uncovered. What do you think about this whole situation? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you're a first-time home buyer and you don't know where to start, I have a free first-time home buyer's guide that will be linked in the description below. It's not a sales pitch. You don't need to sign up for anything. It's just a tool that you can use if you need to. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.